Great, thank you, Soren. Um, and John, I want to start by also expressing gratitude for your generosity of your time, your wisdom. Grateful to Soren, to everybody else who's on. Um, Grateful to you for acting as a harmonizing agent for all of us to be connecting like this. My question is actually on behalf of my mother, who's also on, but she doesn't know how to raise her hand.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So I'm going to ask. She
It's
has a
a
lot of pain.
generational thing.
Yes, she has a lot of physical pain, back pain, and other pain, and would just be interested to hear you talk a little bit about how to work with pain within the practice.
Oh, well, that's a wonderful question. And when you get, I mean, it's not just a matter of age that, from the very beginning of my work in the UMass Medical Center, I started to meet people with chronic pain conditions, some of them were, very young, some even children. But of course, as we all know, as we get older, the body goes through what the body goes through, and sometimes it's just aging, and sometimes it's accidents or injury or whatever. But sooner or later, if you have a body, pain that doesn't go away or isn't immediately treatable is going to arise. And then, so the question is then, how do you deal with it, especially if the drugs and surgery are only of limited value, or you've been that route already and haven't gotten full satisfaction. And this is one of the most important and critical elements of mindfulness practice, has to do with the relationship of pain and suffering. So often it's a little bit of a cliche, but we differentiate pain from suffering because the pain is in some sense unavoidable. That if you break your arm or you fall down or you break your hip or, sort of hit your head, and pain manifests in a lot of different ways. It's not just all one pain. It can be many different things, and it can be from mild to horrible, acute to chronic. And then there's how you are in relationship to the pain. And while the pain may have a lot of intensity, how you hold it makes all the difference in how much it will destroy your life or erode the quality of your life, or you will suffer, in other words. And this is where the rubber really meets the road with mindfulness is, and it's a hard practice. I'm not saying it's easy, but when we, for instance, introduce people to a body scan and you're scanning through your body, a lot of people are in pain. And even lying down, is hard for extended periods of time. And so of course you don't have to lie down. You can squat, you could sit, you could stand on your head. I mean, there are a million different things that you could do to make things better, support yourself with pillows or whatever. But ultimately, you're either going to run away from what you don't like in the body when it manifests as intense sensation, or you're going to do what most of us would never think to do, and that is turn towards it and put the welcome mat out for the sensations. And then ask, I've used this metaphor before, can I just take a quick peek at it? Like put my toe in the water, just like half an in breath. How does it really feel when I pay attention to the basic sensations? Which of course I don't want to do. I want someone to cut it out of me or give me some drug and make it go away. But it's very interesting to turn towards the what we call pain, but I prefer to don't call it pain, because then you build a big story immediately about my pain and how long it's lasted and what caused it and who's to blame and why I didn't get enough insurance coverage for it or whatever it is. But then you're in a universe of your own creation that has nothing to do with what you're feeling at the moment. So you turn towards what you most don't want to turn towards, and you just kind of put the welcome mat out and just take a kind of quick sideward glimpse for half an in breath. How is it? Maybe a whole in breath. How is it? And what you'll find is that invariably, the bare sensation can be held in awareness. But there's not just bare sensation that creates pain and suffering. What creates the suffering is the thoughts that go along with it and the emotions that go along with it. Like, who's to blame because this accident happened and it wasn't my fault? Or, this is killing me. It's destroying my life. Okay, those are not true, those statements. Those are thoughts. And when you say this is killing me, in that moment, you could actually, and a lot of chronic pain patients ultimately wind up having to do this because there's nothing else that's going to deal with their condition. You take a quick peek and you say, is it really? And you look deeply into your back or your neck or wherever the pain is most vivid. And in my experience and in the experience of people that I've talked with about this and studied and written about in the medical literature, most people will say, no, in this instant, not even second, but in this instant, it's not killing me. But I don't know if I could take it in the next instant. Well, but wait a minute. We're not talking about the future. We're talking about this moment. So when you keep coming back to this moment, and then you see that the bare sensation is not the thoughts about it. This is killing me. It's ruined my life. I'll never be who I used to be. Old age is so horrible. Or the emotion around it, like anger or frustration or irritation and, and sadness and depression because like I can't pick up my grandchildren. I can't lift them. And that may all be true, but how you are in relationship to those thoughts and emotions, that compounds the suffering, and it also compounds the intensity of the sensation. So the pain. And when you hold that in awareness the way we've been cultivating for days and weeks and months now, something shifts. And what shifts is like doctors often say this to people, with chronic medical conditions, pain conditions. I'm sorry, but you're going to have to learn to live with it. And then that's usually the end of the story. What mindfulness is about is the beginning of the story of how am I going to live with this pain? So whether you're doing a body scan or you're doing a sitting meditation or you're doing some very gentle mindful yoga on the couch or on the floor or whatever it is, you can actually begin to reclaim those parts of your body that you're angry at, that you hate, that you wish had never happened, whatever it is that happened. And you can begin to realize, well, no, you're still one whole human being. And your body, as we say, as long as you're breathing, there's more right with you than wrong with you, no matter what's wrong with you. And then can you hold that what's wrong in awareness, and then you discover that your awareness is not suffering. Your awareness has never been suffering, but most of the time we don't even know what those words mean because we don't really, awareness is just a thought. It's not a place to reside. It's not a new dimension in which to hold the unwanted experiences in life, which guess what? If you're human, you're going to have all sorts of unwanted experiences. Some of them will be emotionally painful, not physically painful. Sometimes it's both. But in either case, I would say this is probably uh, the approach that has the greatest potential for not letting uh, a chronic condition of any kind, especially if it's associated with real sort of discomfort in the body, a lot of discomfort in the body, excuse me, to wind up eroding the quality of your life. Now, how old is your mother?
Looks actually, John, I can bring her in. Is that all right?
Oh, good. Did you find her mom? Great, because
Mom, we'll try to bring you in.
do
And
you
just
mind, Rick, if we bring
don't
in?
show the video if you don't.
Hi there. Welcome, welcome.
Okay, hi.
Did anything I said just now make sense to you?
Well, it's something I guess I'm going to have to work on. And,
Yeah.
it's not going to just come automatically.
No,
This is
it's not
very
going to
new.
come magically or automatically.
Right. right. This is all very new to me, and I am absolutely loving it. And I'm finding it's something new in my life, but I'm enjoying it very much, and I find it very helpful to give me peacefulness and calmness, and I'm working at it.
And did Rick haul you into this thing? Did
Yes,
he
he
get you
did.
into
Yes,
this?
yes,
Well,
he did.
welcome. I just want to say welcome, and
Oh, thank you.
what a sweet son to corral his
Absolutely.
mom to join
Right.
several thousand people on Zoom on the
Right.
internet. But seriously speaking, um, how do you mind if I ask you? I mean, this is a sensitive question, so I'll
Oh,
self-disclose first.
no, I'm
I'm seven.
83.
You're 83. Okay, so you got five. You got you've got 8 years on me.
Hmm.
Um, so a deep bow to you for being 83. Uh,
Hmm.
my mom lived to be 101 and a half. So I
Wow.
went through a lot of stuff with her in the last 25 or 30 years of her life. Uh, and so I just want to honor the fact that you're even open to listening to this stuff and participating and practicing with us. That's huge. And then, turn this into an adventure. Nobody asks for chronic back pain or the kinds of things that happen as we age or whatever it is for whatever reason. But if it's the case, then my experience is that it's workable if you're willing to do a certain kind of work of the kind that I just described. So, and really even work's not the right word. It's more like being playful with yourself.
Hmm.
Seeing if you can like turn towards the sensations. Where is it worst for you? Where is it most
My back,
intense? In your lower
mostly,
back? Is it
yeah.
in the center or on one side or the other?
Well, mostly one side at the moment, but it's
Does
in the
it
middle.
switch sides?
Yeah, it
Okay.
does.
So it's dynamic. It's got a lot of life to it in a certain way. And at the moment, would you say where would it be on the scale of 0 to 10, where 0 is no pain at all and 10 is like unbearable?
About 7.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you see your awareness that's capable of even saying where it is on that little scale of 1 to 10.
Hmm.
That's also demonstrating that in that moment, you can just tune into it and feel it and let it be as it is. That's mindfulness. That's your awareness. And so
Hmm.
the real challenge is, can you just let your back talk to you? And you become a really good listener. And don't fight with it about whatever story it's telling you,
Hmm.
but gently kind of give it your best regard, which means bring awareness right into that region of your body and let it just rest there or here and breathe with it. You might try playing with breathing into wherever the pain is most intense in your body, like you almost as if you could imagine your breath moving down from where, your nose and throat into your lower back. We teach this as part of the body scan. And then you feel the air coming out from the back, and you just keep sort of riding on the waves of in breath and out breath, but taking it all the way down to the back, almost as if the breath energy is kind of embracing and massaging the back. And just play with that as a meditation practice. You're not trying to
Hmm.
make your pain go away. You're not trying to fix anything. You're just reclaiming that part of your body in awareness and see what happens. And
Thank you so much for.
best if you practice every day because you need your back every day. It's not like once a week you can check in
Yeah,
how's my back doing. It won't
right,
let you alone.
right.
So see if you can do that as a love affair, not as a kind of discipline, but as a love affair
Hmm.
that you want to engage in as much as seems appropriate. And then report back to us in a week or two about how it's going. Okay, we'll search for you. Maybe Rick
Thank
will
you for
help you. But
taking the time for that.
do you have any other
I
question that you want to ask me at the moment?
not at the moment,
Okay, great. Well,
but
listen,
I do
I,
appreciate your help.
listen, and also I gotta say, it's wonderful. I know there are multiple generation families on the call, but it's really nice to have a mother-son combination here to
Hmm.
converse with. And just a deep bow to you for um, your willingness to listen to your crazy son and join with all of us in this way.
Thank you. I love it.
There's a lot,
Great.
there's a lot here, and I have a sense that you're playful enough and adventurous enough to actually get more than your little toe in the water here.
Hmm. Okay,
Now
thank
you've
you
got
so
several
much.
thousand people that really want it to all go well for you. So that's very good karma.
Oh, thank you.